Okay, let's try this again this time. I think we're just going to use IG Live and not a third party app because that lag was too much and I didn't feel like I was properly interacting with you guys. But anyways, welcome. We'll wait a few more minutes or a couple seconds for people to come on board. If you are joining us, let me know where you're joining us from. Just type in like I'm from Canada, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Cote d'Ivoire, I'm from anywhere you are. Type it in, let's know where you're at before we get right into it. Hi, everyone joining. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening and being part of this live. Um, Basically, we're just going to be sharing our wins for 2024 and how we can leverage on that to make 2025 even better. Even better. I feel like this is one of the topics I can always talk about. Banky AK from where? Saskatoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout your friends, invite them to join. Hi, I don't know if it's Angel or Ange. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay. Hi. Is your name Angel or Ange? I'll wait a couple more minutes, and then we'll get right into this live. Hi, Cindy. Okay. Hi, Angel. Thank you for joining. Nice to meet you. Cindy, thank you. Okay, without wasting much time, we're gonna get into it. So, like I said, it was just going to be talking about our wins in 2024. So it'll be interactive, and what we are planning and how we can leverage on our wins for 2024 to make it even better than sorry, yeah, our wins for 2024 to make 2025 even better than what 2024 was. To do this review and this reflection and lessons, I'm going to be taking from questions from my reflection journal that I created. This journal is going to help you review the year and actually prep for year 2025. So I'll take some questions from it, walk through it, and then it's currently on a 25% discount sale. Take advantage of it. This is going to set you up for a good 2025. I feel like I'm your go-to girl for like all things personal development, productivity, reflection, goals, things like that. So this is good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so let's get right into it. How is everyone's 2024? If you were to describe 2024 in one word, what would it be for you? Mine would be two words hyphenated: risk taken. I feel like I did take a lot of risk. I went out of my comfort zone a lot this year. Traveled alone, um, pushed myself um to do what's it called, like an exams, courses, just really really pushed myself and took risk and bet on myself. So I'll call it a risk taking year. So if you were to describe your year in one word, what would you describe it as? I'm waiting to hear back from you guys. Oh, describe 2024 in one word. Okay, Banky said life changing. Yeah. Who else has something for you 2024 and how it's been for them? It was just okay. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? There are some years that are actually like that. And not even to be like a, what do you call them, sad, negative Nancy. But for some people, 2025 will probably be their hardest year yet. Um, yeah, but I would also like, share some things that can also, even when the year might be tough, how to get through it. Um, Unpredictable. That's our lives. Every day it's always unpredictable. You just go with the flow. Some days you have it, some days, life reminds you that it's called life for a reason. But yeah, okay, I'm glad that you guys have responded. So life changing was okay, it's unpredictable, different things for the year 2024. So I'm gonna read a few reflection quotes that resonate with me and why I'm like always big on like reflection and things like that. So this is from Margaret J. Wheatley. Without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. So if you don't reflect, you just keep going, doing your own thing, repeating the same thing over and over again. Sometimes you even have like good results, but you cannot do it again because you don't even know what was making it work in the first instance. So that's why I think reflection is really important to be able to look back and say, oh yeah, I think this worked for me, and I'll be able to repeat it next time. Another quote here by Baltasar Gracian says that self-reflection is the school of wisdom. John C. Maxwell says reflective thinking turns experience into insight. So a lot of people say experience is the best teacher, but it's possible that um, you have experience, but you don't learn because you don't reflect. So reflecting on an experience is actually the best teacher, not just experience is the best teacher. Um, Another quote here, this will be the last one I would read, um, says that self reflection entails asking yourself questions about your values, assessing your strengths and failures, thinking about your perceptions and interactions with others, and imagining where you want to take your life in the future. Hi, everyone that's joining. Thank you for joining. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to reflect and see, like, how did the year go? What really worked? What should we tweak as we're going into year 2025? So, like I said, this reflection journal has basically everything that you need, and it prints really nice. It's an e-copy. It's on seller. I'll put all the details very soon. Yeah. If you're going to reflect on your year, you do need time to be quiet. So, like 1 to 2 hours by yourself, phone, journal, play some good music, set the mood, some candles, make it look nice, and all that good stuff. And then start thinking about it. Again, one of the things with reflection is don't be hard on yourself. Some people have had a tough year where maybe the only thing really is you woke up and you just were trying to stay afloat. It doesn't mean that you can't still reflect, and reflection is not saying that, oh, it's only just highs, like I only won this year in that sense, but it's also saying, okay, what didn't go well and what would I have to do to make sure it doesn't repeat itself again in that sense. So yeah, first here is spirituality. So the first question is, can you highlight some anchor verses for you this year and what they meant to you? Did you get a word for the year? How did you engage it? How so, if no? So for me, I did get a few anchor verses. So one of the things I do when it comes to yearly plan is to plug into the theme of the year for my church. So it's important that you trust the pastor over you, so that um, when I tell you about like the word for the year, you can actually key into it. So that then I also, reflect and pray over like for my own word for the year. So I had a couple things. One of the things for sure that was being highlighted was wisdom. So I had scriptures about wisdom. By wisdom, a house is built. By understanding, it's established. James 1 verse 5, asking God for wisdom. So that's something that I keyed into, and I was like, God, every little thing, everything that I need, I want to ask you for wisdom. So in moments where I didn't know what to do, maybe how to go about a particular situation, how to even approach conflict with somebody, I prayed about it and I asked for wisdom. And I listened and believed that it will come. And I tell you, kidding not, it actually came. And what I would do in those times would be like, if it was a difficult situation and I know that I wanted to respond based on how I would naturally respond, I would like pray about it, pray in the spirit about it. Sometimes I would slip off in the process, but somehow, God was working His own thing, and I really rested. There are times I was just like, okay, God, I'll just pray about this and go to sleep, and it would get sorted out. And I just want to thank God for that. So that was something spiritually, when it comes to God and me, that really worked. The year at my church was abundance, and I keyed into the abundance. I spent a lot of money this year, and somehow God provided for all of my basic needs. Like, we provided. That's it. I wasn't broke. Let me put it like that. So yeah, God and me spiritually. So that's one question. Again, there's a couple other questions. Hi, Raisa. There's a couple other questions here, but so that's spiritually. So for you guys, what anchor verses did you have? What did they mean to you? Do you want to share what your word was for 2024 and like how you engaged it? Feel free. Said it's interactive, so let's chat in the comments. And also don't forget to like share with your friends that were live. So after doing, if you purchase the reflection journal and then you do the 6 questions, dig deep into how spiritually your life went, then there is a planning for 2025, which is what worked for you. So one of the things I want you to take out when you're doing reflection is the principle of transferable wisdom. The principle of transferable wisdom, I first heard it from Pro Coach DDK. So what that means is like you look at a section in your life that is working. So if you're just friendly, and when it comes to people skills, you have it, that thing is working for you. But when it comes to let me say spiritually, you just feel like your relationship with God is not that solid and things like that. What you can do is look at what is working for you in terms of friendships. Say maybe you show up for people, you go out of your way, you give gifts, and it seems to be working for you. You start to say, how can I take what is working for me in this part of my life and transfer it to another part of my life that I want to improve on? So like I said, giving gifts and it's working for you, then you're saying spiritually, how can I make that work? So it means that you're saying, I always go out of my way, even when it's inconvenient for me to show up for my friends. Then you start to say, in my own spiritual life, I will show up even when it's inconvenient, even when it's like I just left at 12, but I have to wake up at 2, maybe to pray. Then you take that, you apply that same thing has been working with your friendships for you, that people are like, oh, you're such a great friend, and now put that into your spiritual life so that it also works for you. So when you're reflecting, it's not just even about your wins, it's also so that you can look at your life and see the wisdom that is in your life, and then use it for other areas of your life as well. Okay. So when you go through the questions on the spirituality section, and then you're planning for 2025, you're saying, okay, you know what, I think I hacked being able to fellowship with the brethren. So you're saying, okay, because I liked my church, that was what was working. So even if you move to a different area, like, okay, I need to find a church that I enjoy so that I can actually still show up show up to continue to build my fellowship with the brethren type of thing. So that's what the last part of that section will be. So the book again is the journal is divided into all the different sections, and then how to plan for the next year based on your reflection for that year. Thank you sharing that. His was gratitude. His word for the year was gratitude. And remaining focused on God's goodness throughout everything that happened. That's his reflection for 2024. So anyways, that's that for spirituality. Let me know if it's making sense in the comments. And then number two was relationships. So let me pick a random question. What relationships ended this year and how do you feel about them? Were there things that could have gone better? Relationships are very tricky. People are new, but we need them. We need people in our lives. We're created to be interdependent. Um, so feel free to also request if you want to be in the live, if you have something to share, and we can add you to the live as well. But relationships for me that ended, I don't think, I'm trying to think. Hmm. I don't know that there is like friendships that ended this year or things like that. That's probably like years before. Um and I feel okay. I know there's a lot of things that could have gone better in terms of like communication wise and stating up front what both people expect from the relationship. So and going into 2025 is something that I'm like, okay, you have to actively work on with friendships and things like that. Be clear on don't don't force it. Like make sure you're mutually respecting each other, things like that. So yeah, but people and relationships. So this covers like everything: romantic relationships, friendships, relationship with people in your church, relationship with people in the mosque, relationship with family, relationship with everybody, and just what you're planning to see in that. Um, Someone is requesting to join. Prince DJ, do you have something to say about relationships, how they went for you this year? Okay, so we talked about relationships. So let's talk about physical health. I feel like that's one place that people neglect because they're only thinking that it's about like going to the gym, but even like your checkup. So one of the questions here is, do you have a family doctor? Is there somebody that has a yearly annual review for you, especially if you're approaching 30? Yeah, because the chronic diseases that people get affected by at 50 actually begins as early as even their teenage years. Their body could just really compensate well, but as you get older, your body also ages and cannot compensate as well. So that's when you get diagnosed with all these different things. How often do you go for a checkup? What health situation are you paying attention to your body? Did you pay attention to your body in 2024? Did you know when your body was feeling off? Like what sickness did you was frequent for you this year? That had to reflect on your physical health, things like that. Did you sleep well? I think I didn't really sleep here this year personally, to be honest. But that's something I want to change in 2025, to rest, go to bed at a certain time. So help me God, I'll wake up at a certain time. So yeah, physical health is also very important to review as well. And then you can decide again, like I said, transfer the wisdom that you gain from the year. Say, if meal prep really worked for you, how did meal prep work? Then use that again in 2025. The third section is about emotional health. Emotional health, emotional health, emotional health. One of the questions is, did you have any emotional outbursts this year? So that is like, did you have any moment that you maybe lost it and you're like, that's not usually me, or you're constantly crying? What was your mood this year? For the most part, my mood was really like I was in a happy place. And this year, one of the things I did was to say my mind a lot more. Although now I'm trying to have a balance to it because there's in your mind and there's some things that you should just keep to yourself. So you don't have to say. Um, but like I said my mind, so I didn't really like stomach a lot of things. I didn't go home overly thinking about it, overly like processing what I should have said or should not have said. Like if I was upset about something, I most times will let you know, at least in that I'm upset about it, and not I wouldn't go with the mindset that you would apologize. I would just be fine. Like I just know that you shall know that you upset me, and that's fine for me. And that made me carry less soul baggage, less emotional baggage. I was just like, I've told you, and it's fine. If you apologize, great. If you don't, that's on you. Um, so yeah. Also, like another question to ask yourself is, who are those that ignite you? Pay attention to that so that in 2025 you can actually intentionally curate those happy moments for yourself. As you're adulting, it doesn't get any easier. You have to intentionally create those moments. So like what are the people that light you up, what are the conversations that you enjoy having, type of thing. Intentionally make room for those relationships and those those moments in your life. Yeah, that's that about emotional health. How did you guys take care of your emotional health this year? I want to know. So put it in the comments. How were you taking care of your emotional health this year, 2024? And what's like your emotional health goal for 2025? I'll be waiting for your response. If you want to share, like join me on the live to share, feel free. Feel free. Just send a request to join and I'll add you. Anybody wants to share like how they felt this year emotionally, what you did to help, um, if you were feeling down, and just as she was just overly tired, I didn't really have time for anything or anybody. Do you feel like your tiredness was physical or was your tiredness more emotional? Yeah, because emotional tiredness can also really weigh you down. You know, it's not just physical tiredness. Hmm. Yeah, I feel you're on that tired because then you're like, I don't have energy. But is that where you still want to stay and what's your game plan to get better? Do you understand? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, as you're identifying those emotions, another question to ask yourself is how, like, what were the triggers? How did I get here? What was making me tired? And then can I cut myself from it if necessary? Is it something I can work through? Do I just need to have conversations with people? Do I just need to rest more? Is it people that is like pulling from me? You know, there's some people that you just sit with and they just pull so much from you, that you get, yeah, the word is burnt out. You just get very exhausted from being with them. Are you stretching yourself too thin? And how can you rectify that coming into 2025? Okay. Yeah. I see Banky says that I'm going to create more margin boundaries. So I'm not burnt out perfect. Yes, yes, yes. More me time. I'm more being in spaces that energize you. Yeah. Lulu, my girl. Lucy says, um, prioritize me time this year, help me rejuvenate to an extent. Yep, absolutely. I'm definitely a me time girly too. Like I'm not bored by my company. I just want to be alone and just watch TV and sometimes I don't watch TV to be fair, just the quietness and just being able to hear my thoughts. Yeah. She says she felt but my girl too, says she felt sad, happy, and drained. Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things would be to say, why was I drained? And like head on tackle it. If it's a problem that you can tackle, like, a tangible problem, right? You say, how can I tackle it going into the new year? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she said to help that she focused on her small wins and what she liked doing. Yeah. Can you guys still hear me? Instagram is telling me that I've reached my limit for the day. Okay, moving on. So the next section is about career and business and university life. So that's the fifth um, life system that we examine in this journal. So let me see. Let me pick a question. What growth did you experience this year in career or business? For me, career wise, I actually tried new things, new jobs, all still within nursing, but just new things. So I stepped down from like a full 12-hour shift every time just because it was a lot for me. My body, I was getting tired a lot. So I needed that balance and that break. So I did that. Um, Setbacks, I don't think I had any setbacks career wise. I really enjoyed, and I realized that I enjoy flexibility with work. So that was something to learn about, and that's something that I want to pursue in 2025. So ask yourself, how did your career go? Are you on the right path? If you're in school, are you making progress towards your graduation? How are you even preparing for your graduation? So like it begins from now. How are you preparing for the internships, for jobs after school? Do you really enjoy your job? Do you want to still do the same thing when you get into 2025? What worked really well? Like what made you get promoted in 2024? What new venture did you step into? Did you open something that challenged you? How do you feel about being an entrepreneur? Things like that. Ask yourself and see what can you continue to do based on what you did in 2024 to make 2025 even better. The sixth thing that we're reviewing is finances. So your money habits. Um, how many of you know actually how much have you sat down to see how much went into your account this year? How much left your account this year? Do you understand? Have you sat down to do the budget? Like, okay, this is how much came in, the exact figure, not even just a random figure in your head. How much came in? It's important to review your finances if you're going to actually win in 2025 financially. All this, like, I don't know, I just swipe my card. It will not work for you in 2025. If you really want to make money, you have to know what is coming in and what is going out. You'll be shocked the amount of things people spend on food this year. Actually, I probably spent a lot on food self. It's because I was too tired to cook. But yeah, actual figures that left your account, how much came in, how much went out. That would also show you like your spending habits. Are you really a spender? Are you a saver? What kind of relationship do you have with money? Are you afraid of money? Those are the things to like review, to reflect on. What do you think about money? Do you just have one source of income? Is that good enough for you? If you're thinking about making more money, why are you thinking about making more money? It's not enough to just say I just want to make more money, but also the why, because you can make more money but it doesn't show in your body, in your life around you, just because you don't really know the why you're making that extra figure. So to really, really move in year 2025, if you want, is to know how much money you're making. Budgeting is so important. I can't overemphasize. Maybe by that time I would deal with this later on, probably on YouTube, and short videos on budgeting. But yeah, and then planning for 2025. So now you start to think, okay, if you want to save, you have to start from now. So like, okay, maybe 10% of my income, this is how much I'm getting monthly. This is what I will set up to make sure that the 10%, um 10% is getting sent to a different account so that I can actually save it. Yeah. Number seven, the seventh thing that we talked about or that we're reviewing in this reflection journal is personal development, my jam. Um, okay, question to you guys. What did you discover about yourself this year? What did you discover? And you're like, oh, wow, I can actually do this, or I thought I could do this, but I don't know how to do this, or this is how I respond in a situation. I thought I would respond differently, but this is how I respond. So, what did you learn about yourself this year? What did you learn about yourself? I'm curious. What did you learn about yourself? What was your lesson about yourself in year 2024? Welcome, welcome, people. I'm waiting for the responses. What did you learn about yourself in 2024? I avoid conflict. Yes, okay. You know what? I think I also used to avoid conflict a lot. But this year I said, you know what? I don't want to hold it on my chest anymore. If I'm sad, let both of us be dealing with it. If I'm angry at you too, you have to know that I'm angry at you. See that it's not just me that will go to bed annoyed. So yeah, avoid conflict. Do you think that that works, Angel? Do you think that works for you in relationships that you care about when you avoid conflict? So because if it doesn't work, then that means there's something to work on in 2025. Um, to make it better, and just even general, not just 2025, just so that the relationships that matter to you, you're able to still sustain them, because conflicts always arise, they would arise. It just depends on how we repair those conflicts after, you know. hmm I think someone says she discovered her peace. I'm curious, what does that mean? Like, you discovered your peace? I think one of the things that it doesn't help. Okay. So that's something that you'd work on, right? Okay. Um Me, what did I discover about myself this year? I think I discovered that I could do hard things. Yeah. I'm very like, so I'm not, my natural disposition is to do, I let's say I have a fixed mindset. So like if it's getting tough, I'm just like, I can't do it. And but I recognized that it was because I was afraid to show that I could not do it, because there's a lot of things that I'm naturally good at, and I'm forefront of those things. So things I couldn't do, I would be like that, pointing to my weakness. So I didn't want to try them. So I would not always be like, instead of me to say I can learn it, I can do it, I'll be like, I beg, I can't. So I'll just stop. I'll not even try. I'll stop before I even start. But I had to learn that you can actually do hard things. And instead of looking at it as, okay, no, 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 I'm not going to try it, I'm not going to try it, I just will look at it like, okay, I'm going to learn it. Even if I fail at it, I'm going to actually have to get better, you know. Lucy says I'm not a business person. You know what? Actually, not everybody's a business person. Me, I can like help you to design the idea, create, I can ideate for you. But that dealing with people part of it, the Lord is helping me. I'm not that great. But yeah. So some people business is just not their thing. They just don't enjoy it. They don't even like just the entire, putting pieces together and making it run. It's just like I'd rather just have somebody do it for me. Yeah. Another thing that I discovered is I'd rather outsource. I would rather outsource. I'd rather spend money to outsource than to go through that strain of doing it myself. I don't know why, but so my prayer is that God will bless me with billions so that I'll just be outsourcing all those different things I don't want to do. Banky says I learned my limits and how a burnt out version of me is bad for all areas of my life. Yeah. And I think, you know what? Let's even talk about people pleasing for a bit. Um, just in general. And I think just because of, again, maybe culture a lot is very like, you tend to cater to other people's needs a lot of times before yours. And then you don't know how much it's placing an effect or a limit on you until there's a, what's it called? What's the word? It starts with a D. When there's a disruption from something that is, it's sometimes it works, like you're just used to that life and it just keeps working until there's a disruption and you're like, okay, 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 okay. This doesn't work. So but laying our limits is good. We have to pay attention to our bodies, pay attention to our mind, pay attention to our minds, pay attention to our bodies and things like that. So yeah, I'm glad you guys discovered these things about yourself. What skill did you learn? What skill did you learn this year? Did I learn a skill this year? I don't think so. don't think I probably just got better at editing. Yeah, I think I got better at editing. Yes. So personal development, we're talking like the books that you read. We're talking podcast. Also in personal development, you're also going to think about who really spoke to you, like an author, a speaker, a coach, a preacher, like who was really speaking some things that like, yeah, actually, they're calling you into more. Those are things to pay attention because this can be voices in this season for you, to take you to your next level. So yeah, in 2025, you want to pay more attention to, when you listen to somebody and you're just like, it's making sense, it's making sense, it's making sense. Then you want to be able to curate how to keep listening to that person. And sometimes you do, I don't think the word is outgrow, but you do end up learning everything you should learn and move on to something else. I don't feel bad. It's okay. It's part of life. They're just for a season and for a time. Um, Project management is good skill. Amazing. Business analysis, event hosting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel it's the same. Pastor Laji was that person. Exactly. So you just have to keep pulling and pulling what you need for that moment and that season, um, from that person. Yeah. Okay. So that is personal development, and under that is also your growth. So even life changes can grow you. So if you had a baby, if you moved, relocated, those things, how did you feel in those moments? What did they challenge you? How did they challenge you to grow? How did they challenge you to grow? Pay attention to those things, especially for how you navigated those moments, and then that can help you in transition seasons in 2025. So if another transition season comes where you are caught in a place where you've never done something before, and you're faced with a novel situation, you can lean back and say, this is the lesson I learned from the first time I went through a situation. Say for instance, you let me say you had a baby, you don't had a baby before, it's transition season, then you learn, okay, this is what my baby needs. Maybe sometimes I'll be sad, but this is what I can do to uplift my mood. So the next time that you go through a difficult situation, you remember that I actually passed through something difficult and I made it through. So I can actually make it through. I just need to learn how to adjust to this current situation and then push through. Okay, and then that'll help you plan for 2025, like what you're planning to see. A bigger, better you does not just come by saying, I want a bigger, better me. What does a bigger, better you mean? Do you understand? Like, does that mean that you want to be softer? You want to, not get as angry as much? You want to be more confident in your abilities? And then now start to, again, pay attention to those voices so that you can grow in that direction. The last thing that review in this journal, the last life segment, is about legacy building. Your legacy doesn't start until you're 50 or 60, it starts now. I read something recently. The person says the average life expectancy is maybe 76 to 78, and they were saying that so your mid life is not 50, it's actually like 35 or 36, 35 to 40 sha. So impact starts now. It's everyday life. How did you share your gifts with the world, the things that you believe God has blessed you with? How did you share it with people around you? That's part of how to create a legacy. So if you're blessed with the gift of writing or the gift of words, how did you use your words? I think that I know how to string words together. So you find me writing, you find me again, how did I share that with the world? This reflection journal is one way I share that with the world. On YouTube, making videos, um, blog. I didn't really blog as much, but those are some of the ways that you can share your gifts with the world. If you served in church, if you sing and you decided to serve in church, that's another way that you did share your gifts with the world. Part of your impact and your legacy building is, how did you show up for people around you? How did you show up for family with those gifts? So yeah, like I said, this reflection journal will help you go through, it simplifies the question so much so that you're able to go through at least these 8 sections of your life, from finances to personal development to career school, things like that, and then prepares you for 2025. Again, the biggest thing for this reflection is not to condemn yourself or to feel bad or anything like that. It's to say there's potential for me to be better. There's potential for me to be happier. You created to be in a happy state. The way you're most productive is not when you're sad. And so it doesn't really benefit the world that you're sad. Do you understand? It doesn't even benefit God who created you that you're sad. So you have to be able to nip down and say, um, yes, how did you show up for yourself as well? So I'll put that under your growth and you. So that'll be under personal development. How did you show up for yourself? Um, Hi, Auntie Jackie. How did you show up for yourself? So like I said, you do all this reflection on all these different parts of your life because you want to be able to transfer the wisdom from one area that's worked really well to the area of your life that is not working as great. So if you sit down and you say, you know what, my finances, I really killed it this year. I made as much money as I wanted to make. Then you're saying, what helped me make so much money that maybe if my relationships aren't going well, I can take a bit of it and use that in that area. Thank you, Ma. So yeah, if you're the common denominator, because you're the common denominator in these situations, how do you show for yourself? So yeah, so you have to take time. I don't think you can pour from an empty cup. So if that means what you have to prioritize would be caring for yourself. What you have to prioritize would be sitting down with yourself and saying, how can I be okay depending on like whatever circumstance you're going through? How can I, still find the joy in that? If you're not at a place where you can point to other things, that's fine. As long as you're taking care of yourself, then as long as you're taking care of yourself and setting like timelines to heal in that sense, or timelines to get better, then you can show up. Because at the end of the day, you want to show up for those other things really strong, but you have to take care of you first. So, prioritize what's important to you. If really your year is just, I need to rest and recover from how 2024 has been, that's how you show up into 2025. You rest and recover, not try to be all over and like, put up face just because people think you're there and you're not there yet. Go into the spaces and be with the people and the places that actually help to nourish you back to good health. Then you can now start to attack those other areas of your life. So that's what I would say, Shay. But yes, does anybody have any questions at all? Like I said, the journal is on sale to 5% off. It's important, I think, that you reflect. Like I went through some quotes earlier about how experience is not the best teacher, but reflecting on experience is the best teacher, because you can have the experience over and over again and you will not learn because you don't actually think back and say, oh yeah, that that thing wasn't good for me. So yeah. Um any questions whatsoever, please put it. Um Share with me, what are your biggest lessons again from 2024? Your wins, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to in year 2025? Um, for me, 2024, like I said, I took a lot of risk and I recognized I could do hard things. So in 2025, instead of me to back out from maybe difficult situations or like back out from dreaming big, I'll just be like, I'll put it there and then I'll start to take baby steps towards it. That's how my mindset is going for year 2025, because of how I've seen 2024 go. It's been a good year. It's been also a year emotionally where I have, if it doesn't serve me, I just let it go. I don't stress. And then I've just intentionally, in fact, God has blessed me with good people and just helped me so much that I'm glad to feel their love and their affection and kindness towards me. So yeah, I hope that this review slash going through the journal has helped a lot. I praise. Enjoy. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Um, everything in my life hinges on, I'm just reading on the comments, on my commitment to grow spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, and relationally. Yeah. Because if you don't grow, you're stagnant and then you die. Because really life is about growing. If things stop growing, they begin to die. They begin to die. So yeah. So yeah, 2025. Again, try and set a daring goal. A daring goal. Something that really pushes you out of your comfort zone. Yeah, because you can also do hard things. So set it. And then if you need to rest, prioritize rest. Like I said, some people might have their toughest year in year 2025. Some might already had one of their toughest years in year 2024. So they really just need to rest in year 2025. Pay attention to those things. You might not even be there setting audacious goals anymore. You just need to set a goal that says I need to rest. And then what does that rest mean to you to come again into yourself? Because like I said, right, you're not the most productive when you're tired, you're really, you're not productive. So you're not really serving us and giving us what God has placed in you. You're not sharing that with the world. So that's why you need to rest, to recover. That's the word I'm looking for, to recover, to be able to now serve us with your gift. So if 2025 is a recovery year, all well and good. Just make sure that you're actually planning the recovery. Like so what I'm saying is like you're not just leaving it to chance, you're actually intentionally curating again. If it means that I won't pick certain people's call because I get very anxious with them, you don't pick it. You don't pick it in your 2025. Answer it. Don't answer it. So that you can actually rest and recover. So yeah, um, that's it, guys. Let me know if there's any questions. I wait a couple more minutes. If there are questions, we'll answer them. If they're not, we end the session now. Thank you for joining. And just realized, let me grab the details for this journal here. So if you're looking to buy the journal, please, it's on sale. I'll put it right now, and then you can get your 25% discount off just by putting in the code 2024. Yeah, code 2024 for 25% off. Okay, so in the absence of any question, I will call it a day. In 2025, I'll probably, pop up more and share insights and things that are working for me, anything I'm learning. That'll be one of my ways of contributing and, impact and legacy stuff. So yeah, um, I pray that you have an amazing year ahead. I pray that all the lessons from 2024, you take them and use them. God helps you, gives you wisdom to use them for a better 2025. I pray that 2025 is a blessed year for you. I pray that if 2024 has been difficult, that God gives you restoration and healing in 2025. I pray He gives you double for your trouble. I pray that He restores your smile. What God has done for me this year to restore my smile. So 2022 and 2023 are sort of really had tough years for me. Even 2021, but I'm smiling at the end of 2024. So it's my prayer for you that even if it might be a difficult year, that in the year 2025 you have reasons to smile. God will restore unto you whatever you have lost. I declare that He multiplies you. I pray if you're weary that He sends you people that love upon you and love you to wholeness. I pray that if it's something that you're saying, God, I need this now, I need this sorted, He will sort it out even in the first quarter of the year 2025 in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. All right. Bye, everyone.